It's yet another new episode. My name is Presenter Ali, and today I'm joined with one and only Phyllis Njuguna, all the way from the USA. Over 13 years of experience in options trading and 2 years in trading futures. Welcome, Phyllis Njuguna. It's not the first time we're having you on board. Always a pleasure having you here, and I think for many people, who are not new to the channel, they already know you, but probably we have someone who's new and they need a little bit of some introduction. So please introduce yourself.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Presenter Ali. It's really good to see you again. And as you said, it's not my first time, so yeah, people can go and watch the other videos, the previous videos. So again, just a little bit of introduction. My names are Phyllis Njuguna, and been trading options now over 13 years. And if you listen to my video, it's been a journey. It's not been easy. It's been a journey, so it's taken me all this time, but finally I found my edge, reached a place that I'm consistently profitable, and built a system. Then 2 years ago started futures trading, and now I trade both futures and options.
Okay, one might be actually wondering, most of the people that we talk to, most of the people that we interact with, they are normally talking about, we trade Forex. We've had actually very few people that we've interacted with that have told us they trade options and futures. Maybe if you can elaborate to us, why options and futures?
Yeah, so I cannot really talk anything bad about Forex, because to say the truth, I've never tried Forex. So I know so many, especially Kenyans, are into Forex trading, but I've never done Forex, so I cannot say anything about Forex. But options and futures is what I've been doing, and I like them. Options is really good because we get access to trade over 10,000 stocks companies in the New York Stock Exchange, and also now in futures we can trade indices and assets and commodities. So yeah.
Okay, while trading futures, I do understand there are different things that you can actually trade. What are you currently trading on futures?
So in futures, we're trading, as I said, assets and commodities. So that includes, if I start with indices, the S&P 500, which on the futures is ES. And then we also trade the NASDAQ, which we have the initial of NQ. And then the Dow Jones, the initials YM. And then we trade also gold, we trade silver, and then we trade crude oil.
Okay.
So we only choose to trade those in my community because that's what kind of we like. They have enough volume to push the trades and all that. But in the futures market, you can trade other things like you can trade coffee, you can trade corn, you can trade sugar, you can trade even livestock in the futures market. So, but as I said, for us, our daily trade that we do is the NASDAQ, the ES, crude oil, the Dow Jones, and gold. Those are the exact things that we trade every day.
Okay, you've actually come up with a system that helps you in the trading, and we're going to be talking about that in a while. So I want to just alert my viewers so that they can stay around. But I want to know, do you have anything that is your favorite when it comes to what you're trading? Because like, for example, in currency pairs, that is in Forex, we hear people saying they mainly trade the XAUSD, they trade the Euro JPY. Do you have something that, you've seen that it's actually working and, maybe it's ended up being your favorite?
Yes, so my favorite has been the NASDAQ. We trade NASDAQ every single morning. We have the micro NASDAQ and the mini NASDAQ. So as I said, the initial is NQ. And yeah, I follow it very well. I know like the long-term trend. I know what to expect. I kind of even know the levels. And that's one thing, one advantage of specializing on one thing, because you can actually know when you wake up in the morning, you know what to expect, and you can easily, chart it out and know exactly how it moves, and you can, get a system out of it. So NASDAQ is my best, and then followed by gold.
Okay, unlike the forex market, the futures market is actually, I think, would be 24/7. So does that mean like you guys trade every day?
Yes, it's open 24/7. Not really, it's like 23/7, it's close to 1 hour on the 24 hours. But I don't encourage people to trade all the time, because there are some times where we have good volume whereby you can get the moves, especially like the New York Open and, all these other. And then sometimes the market is not really moving, it's just kind of like not really moving. And when you keep on, that's when you start forcing trades. So we have times that we encourage people to trade. And then this, for example, like us, I used to put my system on 23 hours per day, but I noticed people could just try to force trades even when there were no trades. So nowadays, I just try to limit about 12 hours per day, the times that I know is really good to trade. And then the rest of the time, we just shut off the system.
Okay. And now, when it comes to trading, one of the main things that most traders struggle with, I think, is the trading psychology. Over the past 13 years, you've been able to, I'm sure you've been able to build a good trading psychology. What are some of the things that, of course, maybe you struggled with, but later on you are actually able, to overcome?
Yes, in trading psychology, there are a lot of things that we have, and one of them is sometimes you just have a kind of just crazy thing that you have in your mind, like you just want like to make a profit of, let's say you've made a profit of 980, but you want it to be $1,000. You just want it to be $1,000, so you are pushing this last $20. But the trade has already moved to the maximum where it's supposed to be, and by you trying to force it to push it to that, then you start losing. And then when you start losing, you don't take whatever you have. You try now to wait for it to go back to where it was. So this is one of the things that you really have to fight it. Another thing is also sometimes, the market doesn't give us every day the same amount of money. Today it will give you 20%, tomorrow 100%, is different all the time. So you need to embrace all the stages of the market. The market moves, and then it gets to a level of consolidation. And sometimes that can take a number of time, a number of hours and all that, a number of days. So you need to embrace those and just keep off the market, let it cool down, and then wait for a move and for you to move it.
Yeah.
So yeah, once you beat that psychology, and it really affects even for most of us who are traders. Yes, we've really tried to control it, but you have to, it's something that you have to keep on reminding yourself that, I have made $200. I'm okay for the day. I need to go. The market will be here tomorrow, and I'll come and make a trade again.
Okay. We've also heard instances of traders, telling us that quite for some time they struggle with emotions such as fear. I'm talking of fear of missing out on a trade, so they are stuck in the charts. We're talking about fear of entering a trade to lose money. We're also talking about emotions such as greed, that you are overconfident, you're sure that this trade will go well, and then it ends up, maybe not going your way. Have you ever, probably struggled with any of those, and maybe how did you overcome them?
Yes, so if you're a trader, of course, you've passed through that phase. And for me, something that, especially the fear of losing, something that has really helped me to tackle that is anytime I enter into a trade, or anytime, I put money in the trade. If I put like $2,000 or $5,000, I am okay losing that money. Doesn't mean that I will lose, but in your mind, once you are free and know this is trading money and it can go my way or it can go the other way, if it goes the other way, I'll cut my losses. That way, when you get good chances, you take opportunities, you take advantages. But if you have that fear of taking trades, then you lose out on very good trades. And then another thing is greed. You need to have a set amount of money whereby you be like, if I make 350, so how I was able to do that is I used to look at how much I used to make when I was employed. I've not been employed for so many years now. So I would look like how much was I making in a day. So if I was making whatever amount of money, if I've made that, then I'm okay for the day. So doesn't mean that I'll come out of the trade, but now I can put my trail stop, saying that even if it hits my trail stop, at least I've made how much I could have made if I went to work. So that way you have like a set amount of money that you'll just get out of a trade if you make it.
Wow. And that one, I think, brings us to the question of risk management. In terms of risking, the amount of money that you're risking, how do you calculate the amount of money you are going to risk per trade in terms of percentage? Do you have like a specific percentage that you specifically look at and say that per trade, this is the amount of money that I'm willing to lose?
Yes, so that depends on what I'm trading. If we're trading options, we have 30%, depends on if it's a day trade, we do 30% stop loss. And then if it's a swing trade, if we have a swing trade, we do 50%. And then if I'm trading futures, what we do futures, we take a risk to reward ratio of 1:2. So of every trade that we take, the risk is 1 and then the reward is 2. So that means if I take 10 trades per day, I lose 5 and I profit 5. I'll still win because the ones that I lost, the ones that I made money, it was double the ones that I lost. So once you scale yourself that and you have a working system, then you should be able to do well.
Okay, interesting. Now let's talk a little bit about the system that you guys were actually, able to build to help other traders actually, win in the market. Tell us a little bit about it. I'm sure we talked about it in the other interviews, but maybe for someone who's watching us for the first time, just enlighten us about the system.
Yes, so and on the other videos I talked about this system. The system is good. I will talk about from my first interview when I came here, that's by the second interview, I started taking in Kenyans who live in Kenya to trade options with me. And about maybe 15 people are on my system right now. One of them has grown his account at least 10 times.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That is in how long?
3 months.
In 3 months. So you're saying that if we're looking at someone who invested $500 per se in 3 months, they've been able to like 10x it. That is to 5K.
Yes, and over. Yeah.
That is crazy. Is that would you say that is one of the successes that you guys have?
Yes. And then but that's just one person. Remember, these are the trades that I give them. But the thing is, okay, let me just talk about generally about another 3 people. They have doubled their account and above. So they've doubled their accounts, and the others, they're profitable. So the thing is, when I give a trade, I will not really tell you when to exit. So for example, on Friday, I gave this trade of Snow had earnings, and I did pretty very well. If you are on my Facebook, trade and investments, you will see we post every day how our trades are doing. And like Snow, that trade was $400. The trade moved to $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So it depends with, it moved like 5 times, yeah?
So that's like an RR of 1:5?
Yes.
Wow, that is crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. But if you come to my community, you'll see somebody made $100 and got out.
Okay.
Now that brings us to the fear.
Yeah.
That brings us to the fear. You have a very good trade, but you're really scared of losing, so you just take $100 and get out. And then, we had others who made 500, all the way to 1,000 and all that. So that's the case of this guy who his account has grown 10 times. Whatever he's doing is not really good, because sometimes he will swing trades which were not supposed to be to swing. To swing means sleeping with trades that were supposed to be day trades. But for some reason, those trades worked for him. So that's how he kept growing his accounts. As I said, the other, about 3 have doubled their accounts, and the rest of them, they're still there, but they're profitable. So as I said, the system has 80% win rate. So I'll also talk about that system on our trading futures. As I said, psychology and all that affects even us best traders. But like for me, only this year I've been able to pass and get funding over $1 million in funding.
So wow.
I don't have that funds right now. Of course, I've blown most of it, but because the trades that we do, most of them are the $50,000 accounts. So with my system, maximum 1 week, people pass if you control yourself very well. So on the 50,000 accounts, I've passed like 50 accounts of those.
Okay.
So right now I'm really, really working on maintaining these accounts, because it's one thing to pass, and then it's another thing to maintain these accounts. But
how many have you blown so far?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. But you see, Ali, when you get to a payout, when you get to like $1,000 payout, that has covered you about almost 30 accounts that you can blow.
Yes.
Yeah, because if one account you're just spending like $60 to buy it. So even if you blow how many, it has really, so long as you can reach a payout, then you should be good to go.
I do understand that most of the futures prop firms do not actually allow for swinging. I don't know the ones that you're using. Do they allow for swing trading? Like you can, sleep with a trade in a day or two, because I see some of them normally say that you have to close the trade.
No, they don't allow swing trading. So you have to close your accounts by 4 p.m. and then the market opens again at 5 p.m. If you don't close your trade, they will close it for you.
Okay. And maybe maybe one thing I'd also like to understand when it comes to futures trading is, looking at the contracts. For those who do not understand the contracts, look at them like the lot sizes on Forex, if I'm not wrong, right? So when you're looking at these contracts, we see that in futures we have contracts that do expire. Do they automatically renew them, or you have to renew them yourself when it comes to the prop firms?
So the way we trade our prop firms, we don't trade them with real money. We only trade them with prop firms. So yeah, are you talking about the expiration that comes after like 3 months?
Yes. The quarterly expiration.
I've never traded futures with real money because we prefer trading options. If people have, and I'll also say this here, if you ask me, should I trade futures, should I trade options? I would say if you have money to trade options, just go with options. If you have $1,000, $2,000 plus the training, the training fees, just go for options. But for futures is mostly for the people who don't have enough money to trade options. The thing is, with options, you're trading your real money. So if you make $200, you can withdraw it the same day. But of course, for futures, we have the rules that you have to wait, and it might take you a bit of time for those rules to wait for those rules and all that.
Okay.
So I've not really traded real money with futures. If I have real money, I just trade options. But for futures, we use prop firms.
Okay. Maybe we are talking about something that maybe people do not actually understand. Just give us an overview. What exactly is options trading, and what is needed to trade options?
Yes. So options trading is the trading of contracts. So these contracts are tradable in the stock market. And all the stocks that I'm talking about: Tesla, Meta, Nvidia, AMD, Apple, all those, Microsoft. The thing is, those companies are kind of really expensive, because if one share costs like $600, it's almost next to impossible for people to afford them. Because if you decide to buy like 20 contracts or 30, 50 contracts, it's very expensive. And that's how options trading came in. So with options trading, you can trade, and all these companies that I mentioned and others. We have about 10,000 companies in the New York Stock Exchange, and you can use very less money to trade these companies. So in short, options trading is the buying and selling of contracts, which gives you the right to buy or sell contracts at a specific time and a specific price.
Okay. Now let's look at futures on the other hand, and also important to ask, can Kenyans actually, with your system, trade futures? And maybe how much is it needed?
Yes. So in futures now we trade assets and commodities, and this is just, so the way futures trading came in is, if I can give you an example of, and it's the same example that's being used all over again. If you are a farmer and you have, let's say you have your livestock, and you need maize or you need corn for those livestock to consume, like in the next 1 year or in the next 2 years. So you and the farmer will agree. The farmer will agree to plant this corn, and you will agree that you will buy this corn when they'll be ready. So you are agreeing at a price of something that you will do at a future date, so that by the time you're planting your corn, you have already a buyer who has agreed to buy at a certain price. So whether there will be rain and the corn will not, there'll be bad or whatever, the farmer has agreed he will buy at, you've agreed on the price. In fact, he has put some deposit and he will pay the rest at the time of delivery. So and it's the same thing when you're buying gold or anything, you'll do the transaction that will be done at a future date. So both the buyer and the seller agree on a price now, and they transact something that will be done at a future date. So that's how futures came in. Futures trading came in. So the transaction will be done now, but the whatever thing will be at a future date. So yes, now Kenyans can trade futures using a prop firm with me. So I have like some prop firms that we can use, and also my system can use that. To start everything, $480 is enough for everything. Get yourself prop firm, get yourself some knowledge. So that's the initial training and all that, and the initial 1 month on my community.
Yeah. So
for 480.
So the 480 caters for what and what exactly?
So it will be the training, the initial training, which will be about almost 5 hours in total, and then some follow-up too, and then the 1 month being on my community to trade, and also to buy the prop firm. So 480 should be enough for you to start. Of course, if you'll continue to be on my system, that's a monthly fee of $100. So that's a bit, kind of affordable. If you want to do options, options is the training is $500 plus $100 for the monthly subscription, and then $1,000 to start. So for options is about $1,600 to start, and for futures is a bit affordable, 480. And within like 2 weeks, you should start trading on the prop firms.
Okay, we are actually talking about the system, and we did in our previous interviews. Maybe you can expound what it does. I do understand that it gives, alerts for when to buy and when to sell, right? Maybe you can expound on that.
Yes, so the system is based on technical analysis. It's a mixture of a lot of things, a lot of technical analysis, volume, and all that. So it will scan the market, and within a minute it will bring So we have color coded it. We have color coded it. The system also has, Fibonacci levels. It calculates them automatically. And once it passes a level, it will change colors. So it also looks at different time frames, all the way from 5 minutes to the 4 hours time frames. So those are, the time frames that we use for day trading. The 4 hours and 1 hour is the kind of like the long-term trend. So in the morning, the first thing we look is the long-term trend. Are we red? If we are red, we are bearish. If we are green, we are bullish. And then if we are white, we are consolidating. So if the long term is consolidating, we don't touch any trades that will come up. And then it comes down to the smallest time frame, and our members know how to read those. The most important are the levels, the Fibonacci levels, and those are the levels that we really use them, and they're calculated automatically. So this system, we coded it, took us a total of 6 years to be where it is. And it's usually a work in progress. Every time we keep changing it to be better and better.
Okay, what's a good win rate that this system has actually ever, reached or had?
Yeah, this system has a 80% win rate, and we've tested it over and over again. And I can tell, like last week, if I gave about 20 trades, 16 made it, 4 failed. So about 80% win rate, and yeah.
Okay, that is impressive, because in the trading industry, 80% is really, really crazy. Let's also talk about a little bit about the onboarding process. Let's say someone reaches out to you. How is the onboarding process like? To your to the training.
So I hope you will put my contact details here, and so we have the email, we have the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp is kind of like a better way to get to me. And I encourage people to join either our TikTok page or the Facebook page, Trade and Investments. We usually post every day either some tips or how we are performing, and just anything about trading. It's all about trading. So join us there. The onboarding process, you just have to contact me, and then I will let you know when we have the next class. Like this coming weekend, we have a class almost full. I usually have a class. It's a group of people, and then I will close for maybe like 3 weeks and make sure these have understood everything and move to the next level, and then I'll open for others. So yeah, you have to contact me. Sometimes you'll have to be on kind of small waiting list before we move you to the next level.
Okay, and actually, as Phyllis mentioned, we're going to put the contacts on your screen and as well in the description, and we're also going to pin them in the comment section. So feel free to reach out if you want to start learning options and futures trading. I mean, getting a system that gives you 80% is actually incredible. We haven't had many people come here and tell us that they have a system that works and gives them 80%. So kudos to you for that. And maybe as we are finalizing, we have a few Kenyans who are actually asking, when is Phyllis coming to Kenya?
Yes, so Presenter Ali, I'm coming November, mid-November, I'll be in Kenya. December, I'll be in Kenya. And me and you have been talking about this, getting a venue, setting up some classes. And when we finalize this, we will inform them where we will do these things. I'm also excited to know that you started your futures trading, so that by then you'll be really good at that. I hope so. So yeah, we'll need these one-on-one classes. I have so much experience in this trading industry. I lost a lot of money before I became profitable. Which for me, I don't take it like losing. I take it like paying the school fees.
Yes.
It's for some reason you have to. So yeah, some of us, there has to be somebody who has to pay the price. So, but you don't have to pass the same levels where we passed at. So another thing I'll talk about these prop firms. These prop firms, you have to be smarter than them. Remember, they're not just in this game to give you money. So, Ali, I don't know if we really explained how the prop firm worked. Should we do that?
Okay. Yeah, maybe you can explain.
Yes. So what happens is the prop firms will fund you money to trade. So you will get kind of, maybe the account will cost like $80, and they'll give you either a $25,000 account or a $50,000 account. So the first phase is they don't know whether you're a trader. They don't know. So they give you an evaluation, kind of like a test, like, do you know how to trade? So they have what they need. For example, they'll tell you make $3,000 to pass. If you pass that, then we'll know that you're a trader. And these are what I talked about. I've passed over 50, almost, I think, over $1 million by now. So when you pass that, then they know you are a trader. Then they give you the real money. Out of this money, then they give you the fresh money. That's where you'll divide by them 80% or 90%, depending on what prop firm. So some of them have some rules that you need to follow. For example, even after passing, you have to trade like 5 days. And I like futures prop firm. I think they're much easier than forex prop firm, as I hear people saying, because we have only one step to passing. We don't have 2 steps. We have 1 step only. So whatever they want, when you make that, you have passed, and their payout is really straightforward. Once you reach whatever they want, you get your payout. So the thing is just to fight your psychology. If you can make $200 per day within 1 week or 2 weeks maximum, you should pass your account. But most of the people, they will make that and then they'll keep going to the market even when it's not favorable to trade. And then they start losing this money. And then emotions kicks in, you start over trading, and then you trade bad, and
Okay, I hear you. Yeah. So for more details, you guys are actually going to be reaching out to Phyllis. The number is on your screen, and it's also pinned in in the link in description. Just reach out to her, tell her you're sent by Presenter Ali, and you'd love to be part of her training program as well. Remember that the slots are kind of limited, so if you join late, you might end up in a waiting list where you have to wait. But if you join early, the earlier the better. Thank you so much, Phyllis, for coming on board again, because I felt like this is such an incredible opportunity for people who are not only interested in forex trading but also in options and futures, because we've never actually heard people talk about options and futures in our podcast. So thank you once more, and I really appreciate you. Many people are looking forward to seeing you in November. So guys, just mark your calendar, follow me on all my social media platforms, and when she decides, that this is when she decides on the date, I'm going to let you guys know, and then we can maybe meet her in one-on-one and get to experience the training and also what she will bring to us from the US. So thank you so much once more. I really appreciate your time. I don't take it for granted, being able to come out here just to support Kenyans, just to try and empower people to be financially free. So thank you so much once more. I really appreciate your time. Anything you want to say?
Yes, so the last thing I'd like to say is you can do this from all over the world. You can do this. Depending on where you are is how we will figure out which prop firm you're using. Same thing to options. Depending on where you are, that's when we will know which brokerage to use. So if you have questions, just contact me, and Presenter Ali, from the interviews that I came before this, I got a lot of feedback. I'm having people calling me from Tanzania, from Congo, from Nigeria. They watch your content, and that's very encouraging, and kind of they trust what you're doing. So keep it up.
Thank you so much. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you've actually watched it to the end, it means that you are a loyal subscriber. So if you haven't subscribed yet, we are on the road to 500,000 subscribers. I can't even think about it. That is literally crazy. Having over 500,000 people, who are interested and invested in our channel is just magical. So thank you so much. We're on the road to 500,000. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you have any questions or any content ideas that you'd like me to bring on board, just make sure you drop them in the comment section. I've been your host, presenter Ali, and I'll see you guys in the next video.